quite a lot of people are concerned about the direct election seatings. It's sort of shrinking down to 20 now. So what's your views on that?
The election committee is actually more representative of district-based geographical constituency elections. Society is not just made up of geographies. We're also made up by functions. And the importance of functions are not necessarily proportionate to the number of people performing those functions. For example, we have medical doctors in Hong Kong. There are fewer medical doctors than there are nurses. And if you go by just numbers, then you tend to listen more to just the nurses, not the medical doctors. You tend to listen more to workers in the grassroots and not medical doctors and so on. So we want to have a broadly representative process based not so much on numbers, but the importance of these functions to a society that is Hong Kong. And we shouldn't just look at district-based geographical constituency direct elections as the only way to achieve the good results of a democratic process. Now, we're not eliminating geographical constituency elections, but we have to adjust the numbers. And I think the election committee election system has served Hong Kong very well.
The formation of it, we actually have 5 constituencies right now, and it says it will break down to 10 smaller ones. A lot of people are saying that it is to prevent a landslide victory, like what has been happening in 2019. What's your views on that?
Well, we need to look at what happened before we talk about a solution. There is a saying, if it works, don't fix it. The previous electoral system worked. It produced, forget about the names and the labels, whether these are the Democrats or pro-establishment camp. We resulted in the Legislative Council, whose members, some of the members, went to a foreign country, in the United States in this case, and lobbied the United States government to sanction their own country and their own community. So that, as I said, is treasonous. And then we saw with our own eyes the previous electoral system returning legislature who filibustered regardless of the issue of the day for months on end. People who, for example, defeated my motion, totally apolitical motion to establish 2 new bureaus. One is the Culture Bureau, the other is the Innovation Technology Bureau. And today we still do not have the Culture Bureau. And the Innovation Technology Bureau was delayed by 2.5 years. Is that the legislature that we want? Now, the solution. The election committee had always been used, it's not new, to elect the chief executive. Executive-led political structure in Hong Kong. And a lot of powers are centered in the hands of the chief executive. If the elections committee system can elect such a powerful person to lead us, then it's only reasonable for the election committee to also elect some members of the Legislative Council. The election committee composition is very representative. I actually went through the process of trying to gain as many of the votes as possible. So I don't necessarily see geographical constituency elections ipso facto, as a matter of fact, more democratic than the election committee election.